This is Reviewer03, bringing you a special video asking the question if Cowboy Bebop is overrated or not. Now, I could bore you with a long and pseudo-scientific explanation, and I'm going to do exactly that in just a few seconds, but the short answer is yes. The main reason for this is the fact that CB fans insist that CB is the greatest anime of all times, making up absurd reasons and giving the anime attributes it does not have and credit it does not deserve. But don't worry, now I'm here, and I will not be silenced! This video is for all those who have been ridiculed, intimidated, oppressed, and even threatened with death because of their beliefs. Let the entire cyberspace hear the fundamental truth. Cowboy Bebop is not that great. Let's start with the soundtrack. CB fans claim that CB has the best anime soundtrack ever, completely ignoring animes like Code Geass, Death Note, the rebuild of Evangelion movies, Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann, Bleach, and many others, who in terms of music easily surpass CB. While I agree that CB had a very unique and original soundtrack using jazz, blues, and songs with lyrics, it's far from being the best. Another argument is the claim that CB is anime for adults. CB fans are quick to dismiss animes with giant robots as anime for children, yet an episodic anime like CB, where the actions of the characters in one episode have absolutely no consequences or impact on the next episode, is claimed to be an anime for adults. Actually, the plotless episodic nature of CB is sold as its greatest strength. This is absurd reasoning. It's as if a car salesman would try to sell you a car with broken brakes, saying, "Hey man, the brakes of this car don't work, but that's its greatest strength, because without brakes, this car is faster, and faster is better, right?" The only type of TV show that can be episodic are comedy shows. Everything else needs a plot, or else it's pointless. Some CB episodes are great, but the viewer has to ask himself, what was the point? There is no character development, and almost all characters are constructed as one-episode characters, never to reappear again. Also, pretty much everything they do in one episode gets completely erased in the next one. For example, it doesn't matter if you watch episode 14-15 in that order, or if you switch and watch first episode 15, people who haven't seen CB wouldn't even notice that they watched these episodes in the wrong order. Another argument is that CB is so deep and so cool. While this might be true, it is an outrage that CB fans completely dismiss series like Outlaw Star and Trigun. Gene Starwind and Vash the Stampede are vastly superior to Spike in terms of coolness, and both these series are much deeper than Cowboy Bebop. Trigun asks the question of the value of life in a world of death. On top of that, the series has an amazingly epic backstory. While Outlaw Star asks the question of who am I, why am I here, what is my purpose in the universe. Outlaw Star also features retarded Kilrathi, which is just cool. On a side note, Firefly is based on Outlaw Star, as seen by the frozen girl in a suitcase in the very first episode. This fact alone makes Outlaw Star 854 octillion times cooler than Cowboy Bebop. You can trust my calculations, I'm good with math. Another point is the supposedly great villain Vicious. He had less than 20 minutes screen time throughout the entire 26-episode anime, yet CB fans still claim that he's one of the best anime villains of all time. Yeah, remember 19? He had like 40 minutes of screen time, one of the best Dragon Ball villains ever. Now, keep in mind that I'm not saying that CB is a bad anime. On the contrary, I gave it a good 3.5 out of 5 points, or 7 out of 10 if you prefer this ranking system. I'm just saying that it's overrated because CB fans wrongly insist that this is the best anime ever. In fact, almost everything in this series has been overhyped and pushed to preposterous levels. The reason for this is probably the fact that for many people, Cowboy Bebop was among the first 5 animes they ever saw. So many people remember it to be much better than it actually is. Another point would be its mass appeal to American audiences, which make up a large part of the anime community. In Japan and Europe, CB was not that popular, in fact it was even cancelled in Japan. So, Cowboy Bebop might be the anime with the coolest setting. It might be the anime with the most unique soundtrack, with the coolest characters. It might be the anime with the most fluid animation. It may be the most popular anime in America, and it may be your personal favorite. But there is something Cowboy Bebop never was, never is, and never will be. The single greatest anime of all times.